Good morning. Welcome to my lightning talk for the Ethics and Trustworthy Group at the Summit for AI Institute Leadership 2025. Today, I will talk about ethical approaches to AI's social roles. When we think of new technologies and their disruption to existing social order, as well as the ways in which we do things, people tend to think in terms of limitation versus freedom, and people may oscillate between a passive tone and an active tone, as you can see on the chart here. For example, people might say you no longer have to memorize certain facts in the era of information abundance and algorithmic search engines. Or people may take a more active tone and say, instead of consulting a dictionary, now you can construct beautiful prose on the fly with the assistance of AI and so forth. Instead, I propose that we think about AI as a socio-technological system of communication. There are a couple of problems that are quite well documented. So its operation is opaque, and it is truly plagued by opacity. In the current political and economic model, these systems are not community-centered. In fact, it is said to be doing damage to various communities, such as higher education. And the technology is not interoperable with pedagogy in general. Research indicates that openness enhances safety through independent scrutiny and culturally plural oversight. At the same time, openness encourages the use of transparent weights in large language model design, as well as more interoperable tool design. AI deployed in this way could have the potential to democratize education by offering free and participatory resources rather than always defaulting to commercial tools. The more open source tools, the better, according to researchers who believe in this mantra. And so the idea is that communities should collectively design human-centered and more transparent and more collaborative AI tools. I've identified two causes of the problems in AI ethics. First is that communities tend to outsource trust to gatekeepers, whose interests do not always align with those of the stakeholders. And by this, I mean, for instance, educators would outsource trust to AI detectors or built-in guardrails in commercial AI models. And people generally don't have access to open access AI. By this, I don't mean the free tier product of ChatGPT or free to use tools like Google that is actually driven by advertisement revenue, turning users into products. So what we need is truly open access AI tools as a form of public interest technology. Using these principles, I have been advocating for open culture, which I think is the future for all of us. First, participatory design with the community in mind and with the community at the center, thinking of people as community rather than merely consumers, we can really enhance participatory justice. And we need to give all stakeholders equal access to processes, not just tools. Tools are something that is already built and ready to be deployed. It's the process, it's the thinking in the design that really matters. Number three, we can then build trust through these kind of deep social connections, and eventually these AI tools will be used in a more transparent and more inclusive manner. It is very important to think about this whole process as a form of civic science, in which all citizens are responsible human beings to begin with, including engineers, as well as people in all walks of life. The result would be a form of open access AI infrastructure that can enhance AI-mediated communication. And this will serve the users, serve the community, especially those who have been excluded from participatory justice. You can see my project statement here regarding my design principles. And so this is one of the many applications we are building. We are building an infrastructure to enable professors to create for free custom-trained domain-specific chatbots. And these can then be deployed permanently free to unlimited number of students. Basically, each bot would have its own unique URL, and no login will ever be required. On the back end, the professors would have full control of the behaviors of their bot, and they can upload specific files to train them. Since we use open source LLM, we are able to design a process on the back end where it'll draw answers only from the uploaded files. And here we can see the system architecture, which does not send off the chat between the student and the bot to train commercial large language models, because when they close each chat window, the entire chat history is erased. So nothing is stored, and their full privacy is protected. And this final flowchart demonstrates the processes in which our system will process any files that are uploaded, how we would index and embed it to create this fully vectorized data set, so that the future AI bot will draw upon it. There are a number of use cases for this kind of system, for this kind of infrastructure. For example, you could design it to excel in detecting repeated patterns in student draft. You could use it for various role-playing exercises to simulate historical debates, and you could use it to connect unusual data points. Students might be posting during class their opinions on the reading material, and we could use this AI to detect on the spot. Imagine if you have a class of 200 students, there's no way for the professor to read through all of the posted opinions live in class, but in this tool could identify the so-called outliers, the unusual opinions, which you could then highlight for a productive discussion. I believe our system has achieved the National Institute of Standards and Technology's 4 pillars regarding large language models: explainability, interpretability, accountability, as well as transparency. And you can see more detail here at the link, as well as our full code base on GitHub. So it is open source, and we are part of the open source community. Please feel free to reach out to me at the Digital Humanities Institute at George Washington University, and here is my email. Thank you, everyone, for participating in today's conference. Have a great day.